My brothers and sisters, we all struggle with self-control at times. Whether it's our temper, our desires, or even our distractions, there is always something pulling us away from what is right. But remember, self-control is a gift. It is something that strengthens our character, protects us from regret, and most importantly, draws us closer to Allah. Today, I want to share with you 5 key points that will help us master the art of self-control, insha'Allah. Strengthen your connection with Allah, my brothers and sisters. The greatest secret to self-control is simple. Bring Allah into your heart and everything else will follow. When your relationship with your Creator is strong, your ability to resist temptation, control your emotions and stay disciplined in life becomes much easier, because when you know Allah, when you truly feel His presence in your life, you will not need anyone to remind you of what is right and wrong. You will feel it deep within your soul. Think about it. When you love someone, you naturally don't want to disappoint them. You don't want to break their trust. You value their presence in your life. Now imagine if that love was for Allah. Imagine if you lived every moment knowing He is watching over you, guiding you, and wanting the best for you. Wouldn't that thought alone help you stay firm in your choices? Wouldn't it remind you to pause before speaking out of anger, to hold back when your desires push you in the wrong direction? Many people struggle with self-control because they rely only on their own strength. They think, I can do this by myself. But the truth is, none of us can do anything without the help of Allah. That is why the ones who succeed are those who constantly turn back to Him. They remember Him in their moments of weakness, and He strengthens them. They speak to Him in their silent prayers, and He answers them. They seek refuge in Him, and He protects them. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen this connection is through prayer. Not just praying because we have to, but praying with our hearts, with full attention, with love. It is in those moments when you put your forehead on the ground that you are at your closest to your Creator. If you truly focus in those moments, if you pour your worries, your struggles, and your weaknesses to Him, you will feel a sense of inner peace like no other. And that peace, my brothers and sisters, is what gives you the ability to control yourself. The more you remember Allah in your daily life, the more your heart will be at ease. You won't feel empty, you won't feel lost, and you won't feel the need to chase after temporary pleasures to fill a void. When you have Allah, you have everything you need. And when your heart is full of His remembrance, you will find that self-control is no longer a battle, but a natural part of who you are. Watch your company, my beloved brothers and sisters. The people around you shape who you become. Whether you realize it or not, your friends, your social circle, and even the content you consume influence your thoughts, your habits, and your character. You may have the best intentions, you may have a strong desire to do good, but if you are constantly surrounded by negativity, by people who encourage the wrong things, then sooner or later, you will find yourself slipping. Have you ever noticed how your mood changes depending on who you spend time with? When you are around those who are kind, who remind you of good, who uplift you with their words, you feel lighter, more at peace. But when you are in the company of those who gossip, complain, and waste time, you feel drained, your heart becomes heavy, and without even realizing it, you start adopting their habits. This is why your company matters. It is like a fragrance. If you surround yourself with a beautiful scent, you will carry it with you. But if you stay in a place of filth, it will stain your clothes, and removing that stench becomes difficult. Some people wonder why they struggle with self-control, why they keep falling into the same mistakes, why their faith feels weak. But when you look deeper, you'll see that the problem often lies in the company they keep. If your friends encourage you to cut corners, to delay your responsibilities, to indulge in things that weaken your heart, then naturally your self-discipline will suffer. It becomes harder to say no because you don't want to be left out. You don't want to be seen as different. But the reality is, staying in the wrong company is far more dangerous than being alone. At times, letting go of certain friendships is difficult. You might feel attached, you might think, but we've known each other for years. But if a relationship is pulling you away from becoming a better version of yourself, then is it truly worth it? If every time you meet someone you leave feeling further from your values, more distracted, more careless, then is that company a blessing or a test? You don't have to cut people off rudely, but you must be wise about where you invest your time. Surround yourself with those who remind you of good. Find friends who encourage you to grow, who support your self-discipline, who bring out the best in you. Because at the end of the day, your company isn't just about who you spend time with, it is about the direction in which your life is heading. Train yourself with small acts of patience. My beloved brothers and sisters, self-control is not something that comes overnight. It is a skill, a habit, a way of life that requires training. And like any skill, it starts small. You don't wake up one day and suddenly have the strength to resist every temptation, to control your emotions perfectly, or to remain patient in every situation. No, it is something you build, step by step, through small acts of discipline. Think about an athlete training for a marathon. They don't just run 42 kilometers on the first day. They start with short distances, strengthening their muscles, building their stamina, pushing themselves a little more each time. Similarly, patience and self-control are built in the small moments. It begins when you hold back from responding in anger, even when you feel justified. It begins when you resist that urge to scroll mindlessly on your phone when you should be doing something productive. It begins when you wake up just a few minutes earlier to start your day right, even though your bed is calling you back. The more you train yourself in small moments, the stronger your self-control becomes. When you learn to control your tongue in everyday conversations, you will find it easier to remain calm in heated arguments. When you learn to delay instant gratification in little things like choosing healthy food over junk or prioritizing your responsibilities over distractions, you develop the discipline to control your greater desires. These small victories may seem insignificant, but they add up. They shape your character. They strengthen your willpower. Many times people struggle with self-control because they think they need to make huge changes all at once, but the reality is the most lasting changes happen gradually. If you try to transform everything in a single day, you may feel motivated at first, but when the struggle becomes difficult, you might give up altogether. That is why starting small is so powerful. When you take one step at a time, when you push yourself just a little further each day, you develop a patience that becomes part of who you are. Every time you hold back from reacting impulsively, you are training your mind. Every time you wait a little longer before indulging in something unnecessary, you are strengthening your heart. And every time you push yourself to do what is right, even when it feels difficult, you are preparing yourself for the bigger tests in life. Because, my brothers and sisters, true self-control is not about denying yourself happiness. It is about mastering yourself so that you do not become a slave to your desires. And when you build patience in small ways, you prepare yourself for greater success, both in this world and the next. Seek help through dua, my beloved brothers and sisters. No matter how strong we think we are, there will always be moments when we feel weak, moments when our desires overpower us, moments when our emotions get the better of us. And in those moments, we often think we must fight our battles alone. But the truth is, we are never alone. We have Allah, the most merciful, the most powerful, the one who understands our struggles even when we cannot put them into words. Self-control is not just about willpower. It is not just about discipline. It is about recognizing that without Allah's help, we cannot succeed. How many times have we tried to change ourselves, to break bad habits, to stay away from sin, only to fall back into the same cycle? It is because self-discipline is not just a physical effort, it is a spiritual journey. And no journey can be completed without guidance. This is why dua is so important. It is our lifeline, our direct connection to the one who created us, the one who knows our weaknesses better than we do. Many times we make the mistake of only turning to Allah after we fail, after we lose control, after we say the wrong thing. But dua is not just for seeking forgiveness after the mistake, it is also for seeking strength before the mistake even happens. It is about asking Allah to protect us from situations that test us, to strengthen our hearts when we feel weak, to guide our tongues before we speak, and to grant us patience when we are about to react. The beauty of dua is that it doesn't require a special place, a special time, or a perfect state of mind. You can whisper it under your breath when you feel your emotions rising. You can say it in your heart when temptation knocks at your door. You can raise your hands in the darkness of the night when no one is watching, and Allah will listen. Because when you ask sincerely, when you cry out to Him with full trust, He will not leave you without help. Some people wonder why they struggle with self-control despite trying so hard. But the question is, if they asked Allah for help, have they truly turned to Him, admitting their weakness, seeking His strength? Because when you humble yourself before Allah, when you acknowledge that you need His guidance, that is when you find true control. Not because you are strong, but because He is. And when He strengthens you, no temptation, no emotion, and no weakness can overpower you. Remember the consequences. My beloved brothers and sisters, every choice we make in life carries a consequence. Whether big or small, whether immediate or delayed, our actions shape our future. The way we speak, the way we react, the way we handle our emotions, all of it either leads us toward something good or something we may regret. And this is why self-control is so important. It is not just about avoiding harm in the moment. It is about protecting ourselves from pain in the future. Think about it though, many times have we said something in anger, only to wish we could take those words back. How many times have we made a decision in haste, only to realize later that a little patience would have saved us from difficulty? This is what happens when we act without thinking about the consequences. In the heat of the moment, it may feel good to respond with harshness, to follow our desires, to indulge in what feels easy. But when the moment passes, reality sets in, and often reality comes with regret. When you remember the consequences of your actions, you develop the ability to pause before making a mistake. You begin to ask yourself, is this worth it? Will that one moment of anger cost you a relationship? Will that one careless action lead you down a path of guilt? Will that one moment of weakness take away the peace in your heart? Because the truth is, nothing in life happens without a result. What we plant today, we will harvest tomorrow. And if we are careless with our choices, we may find ourselves wishing we had practiced just a little more self-control. But my brothers and sisters, the consequences of our actions are not just limited to this world. There is a greater accountability, one that we cannot escape. Everything we do, every word we speak, every choice we make, it is being recorded. Nothing is forgotten. And one day we will stand before Allah and we will see the full impact of our decisions. When we remember this, self-control becomes easier, because we are no longer just thinking about temporary pleasure, but about eternal results. So before speaking, before acting, before allowing emotions to control us, let us ask ourselves, what will this lead to? Will this bring me closer to peace or closer to regret? Will this bring me closer to Allah or further away? When we keep the bigger picture in mind, we find the strength to hold back when necessary, to stay firm when tested, and to choose what is truly best for us, not just in the moment, but for our entire journey ahead.